The unfortunate reality of dating with an eating disorder is that there are three partners in that relationship. There are you, your chosen partner, and your eating disorder, which always tags along. And the eating disorder is very destructive. I want you to think about your eating disorder like an abusive partner. So if we're taking that alongside of another romantic partnership, this can be really problematic in the relationship. So if you are somebody that is pursuing relationships or already actively in a relationship, just know if that there is an eating disorder on board, there might be some turmoil there. The eating disorder has one primary goal for you, and that is to kill you. And if the eating disorder cannot kill you, its goal is going to be to destroy all of your relationships. So that includes romantic relationships, friendships, family, anything else where there might be other social implications. The eating disorder wants to rip that away because it wants you all to itself. And it's a very selfish being, this eating disorder entity. So we just need to remember that as we pursue a relationship as somebody with an eating disorder or in eating disorder recovery, is there are going to be some challenges associated along with that. Here are three challenges that are really common when we bring an eating disorder into a relationship. Number one, it can be really difficult to enjoy intimate moments with our partner with an eating disorder on board. Our eating disorder often translates any messages that come from our partner as, you're a big fat pig, you're worthless. This partner would love you way more if you were in a smaller body. So just expect that our eating disorder is going to automatically hijack and translate any of the information that our partner is giving to us about the way that they feel about us emotionally and physically. So it's kind of like putting a veil upon our eyes as we're entering into this relationship because we're not really seeing the true language that is being portrayed in this relationship. And we're not able to connect in the same extent in many ways that we would be if our eating disorder wasn't on board. So it might be really difficult to connect with that patient on a physical and emotional level. In addition, our eating disorder often wants us to socially isolate. The goal of this is that the eating disorder wants to protect itself. And this can make it really hard to engage in a relationship when we have an eating disorder on board. Oftentimes, the activities that our partner is going to want to do with us are going to involve food or social situations. And both of those things can be problematic when we have an eating disorder on board. So for example, if our partner wants us to go to a potluck or a wedding or a party or something that might involve food, or even if it doesn't involve food, we're bringing our body to those spaces in that time. So this can be really problematic when it comes to keeping our eating disorder safe. So for example, if our partner has invited us to a restaurant or a social gathering where food is going to be involved, there might be scary foods that are on the table that the eating disorder is automatically saying, no way, we're not going to engage in that. Just put it to the side and move on with your day. Or we're going to avoid that situation entirely so that way we don't have to come up with potentially being faced with a fear food or social situation, which might cause others to see our body or see the foods that we're eating. Now, when we're all by ourselves, that might be permissible. However, when we have another individual on board that maybe wants to socially interact with us in order to act in love, or if you will, then this can be really problematic at times. So just know that that might come up as we are thinking about pursuing a relationship, or if we are already in a relationship as we are recovering from an eating disorder. These things can be really challenging. We might have to discuss with our partner some of the parameters around going out into social situations as we're moving through our recovery journey with wherever we're at in our recovery journey. So, for example, if we're on a prescriptive meal plan, how can we integrate that into some of these social settings as we're on our recovery journey? So, really looping our partner in if we are in a relationship or pursuing that relationship, that can be really key in helping to release some of that anxiety that can come alongside with social situations in a relationship. Other concerns that might come up when it comes to dating with an eating disorder are our potential body dysmorphia. So this might make it really difficult to engage in social situations, intimacy, or other types of connection with our partner. So it's really important if we are in a relationship, especially a long-term relationship, that we let our partner know where we're at in the journey of our eating disorder recovery, and that partner is on board with supporting us. And that might include setting some boundaries around how we interact with our romantic relationships or our partners. So, for example, it might include just letting our partner know where our deepest struggles are if we do feel safe enough to share that information with our partner, where our fear foods are, and how they can best support us in our eating disorder recovery journey. So, for example, that partner might engage in some meal support with us, might help us, might sit with us during times of anxiety, fear, distress, depression that can often go alongside with recovering from an eating disorder. So, best case scenario, we're able to loop that partner in if we do trust them, we feel safe with them, and perhaps even having that partner have a conversation with the healthcare team and to let them know how they can best support us in our recovery journey. Remember, the goal of the eating disorder is to disconnect you from your partner. And so really looping that partner in to what you are experiencing can really be key. Also remember that the eating disorder is very likely to translate any information that your partner gives you into something that is negative. And that's not fair to your partner. So really encouraging you to critically analyze the information that the eating disorder gives you if you are pursuing a romantic relationship. So allowing that partner to have their own thoughts about how they feel about you romantically, physically, all of those things is really, really important. What the eating disorder often likes to do is kind of hijack that individual's experience with how they perceive you physically, emotionally, and so on and so forth. So, for example, we might say, oh, my boyfriend, girlfriend, what have you, believes that I am beautiful, but they would think that I am more beautiful if I was in a smaller body. Now, that's information that we're getting from our eating disorder, right? So that actually has no connection to what our partner is actually experiencing with us. And we really need to be permissive in allowing that partner to experience us, our body, physically, emotionally, in the way that they truly experience it without our eating disorder hijacking that, translating the information, and essentially assigning them how they should feel about our body and how they should like that body more or less. So just some food or thought with this as you think about embarking onto a relationship. If you do have an eating disorder or you are in eating disorder recovery, and some strategies to help you utilize that relationship as a powerful tool in healing from your eating disorder.